Hello everybody, and welcome back to Let's Play the Turing Test. Where we last left off, we found the crew quarters. So let's explore them. So, it's triplets. Don't touch. This is the 5th time. Okay. So that's Dan's room? Yeah, Captain Dan McLean and WC. Don't know what that is. I don't see the need for so many cameras. Tom's presence everywhere is slightly oppressive. I understand the need for transparency, but why is he in the toilets? Wash closet. Which I believe is a British term for the restroom, toilet, bathroom, whatever you want to call it. Sarah Brooke and Chris McLean. Let's go into Chris's room. Moon watch log sheet. Can we crouch? No, I don't see any way to crouch. And I can't really read that. Uh-oh. Me and Dan. Why did he tear it? Okay. Ooh, that's pretty. Slice of a geode. That ain't no Ashiyama tablet. That's Android. Laptop. Coffee mug. Drilling report. Drill malfunctions. Expect delay. Drilling resumes. See attachment for transparent info. Long week. Forgot to take date. Jackpot. Damage to external hull. On hold for inspection. Necessary repairs made. On a roll here. Routine inspection. Audio log 71.1.42. Operation paused. You know, I love my family too, but there's a lot of pictures of them. Oh, even more pictures of the family. Christopher McLean. Got any rye whiskey in there? Some rye whiskey? A hockey puck. Some medicine. What's it for, though? Real Uzol. 50 milligrams. You know what? I'm going to Google real quick and see if that's a real medicine. Real Uzol. Medication. It can treat amyotrophic lateral sclerosis. Oh, ALS. Lou Gehrig's. Oh. That's not good. And which brother was this? Chris. So Chris has ALS? Oh, that's terrible. Gerard. Favorite hockey player? I don't see... Oh, hang on. Oh, it's just a flashlight. Can't open that one, or that one. So is he the one that had the malfunction back in episode 1 when we were still on the station? Sarah Brooke. Strange thermals on the west side of the crater. It's see-through. There's one of those power boxes. I think this lady might be a little bit obsessive-compulsive. Dear Tom, knowing that you're always watching, I thought I would write you a letter. As you no longer reside in my mind, I've decided to transfer my thoughts to text. No longer reside in my mind? I want to do so in the form of a history lesson, a lesson that perhaps you'll find condescending, but it's likely more for my sake than yours. Alan Turing is considered a father of theoretical computer science and artificial intelligence. Perhaps a lesser-known part of his life was his contribution to the field of biology. Why do you suppose his interest lay in these two disparate fields? Disparate? I assume it was because he believed the world to be logical and understandable. He was a mathematician. He seemed to believe that the great complexity of the universe could be explained with simple rules. 2 years before his suicide in 1952... Oh, I didn't even know that about Alan Turing. Alan Turing developed something called reaction diffusion systems. Inside the academic world, this work is cited more than his work on computers. It can be generally formalized as a one-line equation. I'm no mathematician, nor am I, so I'm not even going to attempt to read how that goes. However, in plain English, thank you, this equation describes things that wish to diffuse, however, also react with each other during this process. I'm sure this sounds strange to you, or at least very tangential to our lives here on Europa. What relevance does it have to anything here? Reaction diffusion systems show how patterns are created. They show how the leopard got its spots and how the zebra got its stripes. But my real interest here is Turing's interest. That nature can be formalized, that we can understand the natural world in mathematical terms. Turing created the test to answer the question, can a machine impersonate a human? The intrigue behind that being, can the human mind be simulated by a machine? Why ask that question? To prove that the human mind is a machine. I'm not sure that is Turing's opinion, however. Concerning consciousness, he states this. According to the most extreme form of this view, the only way by which one could be sure that a machine thinks is to be the machine and to feel oneself thinking. Huh. That's really interesting. Oh, sorry, I need a sip of water. One could then describe these feelings to the world, but of course, no one would be justified in taking any notice. Likewise, according to this view, the only way to know that a man thinks is to be that particular man. Huh. You know, what I do find so interesting, I'm going to say that a lot, is that that's true. I mean, think about it. Perspective is everything. And as weird as it may sound, we only know that we exist. Obviously, we go based on faith and experience and examples and what we've learned in modern society and just with interacting with other people, that they are varied. But what's really interesting about that is, to that person, only they exist. And you're just the same. You're the same to them as they are to you. And it's hard to explain what I'm trying to say. So if the human mind exists within the physical world, it obeys the same rules of physics and chemistry as every other thing in the world. Therefore, like all of nature, it is merely reactive. It is curious that nature would create, through the mechanisms of determinism, creatures that believe they have free will. Conversely, I suppose, if we conclude that we are all machines, we only come to this conclusion in a predetermined manner. We cannot claim credit for our discovery, as it is just a product of nature's genius, not our own. A humbling idea, I think. Behaviorism. Maybe we're more similar than we think. Sarah. Puppy! Oh, he's cute. I bet his name's Jimbo. That's a really good read. Yeah, props to whoever wrote all of this. This is far more intellectual than anything I could come up with. What is this? Comlink? Okay. Does your computer work? No. Exobiologist Dr. Sarah Brooke. Cookbook. So a bunch of cookbooks. Does she also have ALS? One capsule per 12 hours orally. See the accompanying prescribing information. Huh. Maybe she has it for the other guy. 5.3 telomeres. I've heard of telomeres, but I'm not super familiar with what they are. I believe they're inside your DNA. Again, I'm no scientist, but if I understand correctly, telomeres, or telomeres, I think I just said the same thing twice, are what actually make up your DNA. And they're actually one of the reasons that we eventually stop regenerating, because the telomeres get older and older, and then little chunks of them, the ends specifically, get cut off as they're reproduced. Yeah, I'm sure someone on the internet can explain it significantly better than I am. And a shovel. Neat. What's in here for you? A microscope. So, Sarah and Chris. Suichi Yu and Mikhail Tokarev. Mikhail seems to have had some mental breaks. Oh, some more of the Ryuzol. Ryuzol? I'm not sure how to say that. Is he a painter? More puppies. I love doggos. We'll come to that in just a minute. So what's in here? Insulin? Aspirin, alcohol wipes, antiseptic gel. Alright, that seems like a pretty basic first aid kit. He is a painter. KRW. I'm turning this, but the label seems to have disappeared. Before we picked it up, yeah, it appears to be morphine. Did he overdose? Was he dying? This is weird. Why does everyone have medicine for ALS? Like, don't get me wrong. I feel terrible for anyone who has it. But sending them to space seems kind of cruel. That's really good, though. I can't paint. I can barely draw a stick man. I want to see what's... There we go. Got me a closed first aid kit. Huh. Oh, wait. We forgot to read this. March 6th. The whole team experienced nausea during a large electrical surge in Europa's atmosphere. I'm concerned. This was not an instance of mass hysteria. Vital signs were affected. It caused a uniform surge in heart rate that was detected in all members of the crew. I'm reporting to ISA, March 7th. I reported the nausea incident to ISA. They offer an explanation of electrical disturbance to our central nervous system. That is ludicrous. An electrical surge large enough to affect our nervous system would have done more than make the team feel ill. I'm going to experiment with some shock therapy. I've discovered that electronic fields disturb our telemetry implants in a way I didn't expect. I have contacted the ISA. Strangely, Tom was not comfortable with my attempts to disturb the implant. Telemetry implants. Maybe so they can contact Tom, and so they can be tracked on where they are? March 9th. The ISA have reported back informing me that I am not to disturb the implants. They have also encouraged me not to discuss this further with the team. Russian word. I am continuing to investigate. March 11th. I have been running some experiments outside of Tom's view. I can tell he knows this. He has been acting differently around me, like an offended child. Huh. I feel increasingly nauseous. These implants seem to have neural connectivity. Out-of-body experiences are more frequent now. Oh, so remember when Tom was trying to talk to him And he said he was acting strange. And then he didn't respond. That may have been him having one of these out-of-body experiences. That's interesting. March 16th. I've established a definite correlation. Against my knowledge, I have been implanted with a device that affects my mind. Oh, that's not cool. I use my opportunities and regular health checkups to investigate the crew. We all have them. Every single one of us is implanted with some mind-altering contraption. Tom has been encouraging the team to worry about my mental health. He requested that I retire away from the crew. Misinformation. Huh. 26th. I cannot will myself to investigate this further. I grow tired quickly. I cannot think straight. I am not sure if the implant is affecting my thoughts anymore. I believe it is trying to subdue my mind. I think I'm going to attempt an excision. I'm going to remove this implant. Oh, God. I am April 4th. I am typing with my left hand now. The excision went wrong. I've successfully removed the implant. Unfortunately, I lost my hand in the operation. Tom is very angry. The crew refused to talk to me. Apparently, I am a bad influence. Sarah patched me up. I assume he cut something in his brain stem, taking it out? I don't imagine he lost the actual hand, just the use of it. April 5th. I wonder if the nature of the organism and its disturbance of my DNA caused my awakening from Tom's influence. If so, that would make for a worrisome revelation. Perhaps this organism is not so friendly. April 6th. Dan has informed me ISA have called for my termination. My masochistic experiment proves I am a danger to the mission. Fortunately, he chose not to lock me in the brig. I'm going to investigate this implant further. I have to hide my work. The team are becoming increasingly aggressive. They seem to oppose my work to understand the implant. It does not help that Tom is encouraging them to distrust me. Why would Tom encourage them to distrust him? I mean, don't get me wrong. He's acting weird. But if you found an implant in your head, I mean, I wouldn't have the guts to try and take it out. But if you did, and you hurt yourself doing it, why wouldn't everyone be more supportive of you? Not distrusting? I don't know. I'm not there. But it's very strange. April 7th. Ooh, I have discovered the nature of the implant. It's a complex computer. It interfaces with the human mind directly. It seems to condition the mind through Pavlovian and instrumental conditioning, eliciting feelings of euphoria when the wearer is obedient and dysphoria when they are disobedient. Oh, that's why they distrust him. It also has the effect of suppressing impulses in the frontal lobe, presumably to lower free will. It seems to interface crudely with motor neuron cells through the cerebellum. It's my hypothesis that the crew is controlled by this implant. Excuse me. That is their strong aversion to helping me. I need a method of suppressing its impact, perhaps a drug. Riluzole. Oh. Maybe an antidepressant to minimize the conditioning effects. Combined with a strong electromagnetic field, I could use one of the industrial electromagnets from the construction robots. Is Riluzole an antidepressant? That's not what Google said. April 8th. I have managed to get Chris on my side. He has agreed to test some medical procedures with me in private. It will be more difficult one-handed, but I must persevere. I am hoping to keep this out of the eyes of Tom, though I have a feeling he will still be listening. Stuff is getting real dystopian up in here. Do we check Suichi? No. So, got the Riluzole for her too. Motion sickness relief, because they're all still feeling nauseous. A journal. A picture of Earth. Aw, from the moon? How sweet. A picture of home. That would be hard. Oh. Oh yeah, his wife died. Oh man, I can't imagine that. They're sweet together. Anything in there? No. Can we open this? No. Bonsai tree. How nice. Ooh, a Rubik's Cube. Oh, I never understood the obsession with Rubik's Cubes. I had one. I got it at a yard sale when I was a little kid. But I was so terrible at it. See, I'm not good at puzzle solving. Poor guy. Huh. Okay. Why does he not get a fancy computer like everybody else? Can't reach any of those. Violin. Great minds usually are more inclined to things like music and art. Great minds also typically go to space. Well, not typically. They're more inclined to go to space as well. Alright. To Matthew Layton from Suichi-yu, excuse me. Hi Matthew, we've been studying organism 119. Please find attached scanning electron microscope image, which appears to show pilus formations. We hypothesize that this is a stress response due to high levels of radiation. We plan to infect a human cell line with organism 119 and perform irradiation experiments with flow cytometry. Would this be appropriate? It would be great if you could get the department to look at the SEM image. Kind regards, Suichi. Hey Suichi, it was great to see this image. Wow, yet more complex life on Europa. I'm not even going to butcher that Latin. Might be worth looking at, as it survives very high levels of radiations here on Earth. Similarly, you should consider looking at, more Latin, produces pill in pili? It's blurry, it's hard to read. We're going to go with pili. Produces pili in response to radiation and uses them to transfer DNA. Perhaps your organism uses a similar mechanism? Have you considered that organism 119 is transferring or scavenging DNA as a method of surviving radiation? As you well know, in terms of radiation, Europa receives 5.4 SV per day, over 300,000 times the level of Earth. Oh man. Organism must have evolved such a high resistance to radiation as a necessity of survival. That said, the radiation beneath their macula is much lower due to the thick ice crust. Radiation experiments with flow cytometry sound like an appropriate course of action. Hi Matthew, we've attached an image confirming that organism 119 attaches to human cells. Uh-oh. We will proceed with irradiation experiments on these cell lines. We propose naming organism 119 Europa radiophilus. What do you think? We have now run the irradiation experiments and can confirm that E. radiophilus does indeed seem to confer resistance to radiation. See attached. We assume survival is due to DNA damage repair. Oh. Okay. We tagged various DNA repair enzymes with GFP and have found that DNA double-strand break repair is occurring. See attached GFP images. Something's amiss. We don't know what is performing the repair. The lab doesn't know, E. radiophilus, good name, how they could repair DNA. Have you considered that another organism may be in a symbiotic relationship? Perhaps a virus? We ran a PCR on the human cells exposing to radiophilus to see if there was a virus present. We have discovered an unknown virus, which we have named Unknown Europa Virus, UEV. Gel electrophoresis image attached. Man, I'm telling you, this is giving my tongue a workout. This is phenomenal. You need to sequence this. We finished sequencing it. That attached. It's a virus unlike any we have ever seen. Maybe we found a cure for senescence? A form of biological immortality. We are running some long-term tests on plants and mice to see the effects. The plants are clearly exhibiting longer lifespans when exposed to the organism. We don't have the facilities here to continue testing. We're going on to human testing. What? We're going to use our cells as subjects. It's the only way to accelerate progress. Soichi. That's not good, man. Yeah, but, hang on. Let me go back and find it. I don't want to misquote myself. These, the telomeres. that's what the radiation new alien thing repairs itself. Because that's basically the reason that humans can't live forever. So what is it you found then, Suichi? We found an extremophile, an organism that can live in extreme conditions. Oh, what are they called? Like the water bears that live in space? Or that can live in space for a while? They survive massive doses of radiation. Radiation damages DNA. The extremophile has a virus living inside it. The extremophile scavenges DNA from other organisms, which the virus uses to repair the extremophile's damaged DNA. Essentially, they work together to survive in what's called a symbiotic relationship. So what's the implication? What does it do? In some ways, it's an immortal relationship. It doesn't seem to age biologically. Aging and death are ultimately caused by DNA damage, when the telomeres can no longer reproduce themselves. We have the ability to fix our DNA, but that ability is limited. This organism can repair damage caused by massive doses of radiation. If we could harness this power, we could potentially eliminate biological aging, what is known as senescence. So you found something that could make humans immortal? Not exactly. There are many causes of death other than DNA damage. It could not save you from trauma, from brain damage, cardiac arrest, etc. But it could potentially cure cancers and many genetic diseases and massively increase life expectancy. Wow. This sounds like bad news, man. If you've ever seen a movie, anything, you know, this is not good. Do not play God. That's a lot to take in 26 minutes. I mean, you find something that can basically make you immortal, air quotes, as far as life expectancy. Because every time your body recreates the telomeres, there's, I want to say it's a percentage chance that they come back mutated. And eventually, after so many mutations, they're no longer able to repair themselves.
Should not have been sent here. It's not safe.
Manned space travel is not safe. Since mankind first entered space, the debate has raged over the value of manned space travel. There is a large contingent of the ISA that believes all tasks that need to be performed on Europa could be performed by machines.
Then why are we here?
It is obviously less risky to send machines rather than humans into space.
Yeah, that does seem like it would have been a smarter move there, friend. Aha! Very interesting. Honestly, my head is still reeling from all of the implications of immortality.
They sent drones to Earth's moon. Scientists can remotely operate drones. If we did it there, why not here too?
Teleoperation became possible on the moon when the communication latency was reduced to 1.4 seconds.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
The distance between the Earth and Earth's moon is approximately 1.3 light seconds. This enables near real-time control of drones by scientists. The story is different with Europa, as the distance between Earth and Jupiter oscillates between approximately 32 and 53 light minutes. It takes a very long time for Earth to communicate with Europa. Due to that distance, teleoperation will never be possible on Europa.
Okay, but why
never
not
say
control
never.
drones from the satellite?
Why not indeed? My systems can be teleoperated from Europa's satellite. That is when the communication lines are open. However, the advantages of human field workers apparently outweigh the risks.
Aha. Well, yeah. I mean, robots can only get so advanced before things start to become...
So, why can't you solve these tests, Tom?
That's a
I am
good
not
question.
permitted to think laterally. Parts of my systems are permitted to use evolutionary algorithms. This simulates what is called creativity. However, evolutionary algorithms can converge on inefficient and ethically suboptimal solutions. Since this is the case, I'm only permitted to take actions in response to a set of constraints.
What do you mean by morally suboptimal?
Solutions to problems that transgress ethical boundaries.
So making decisions such as closing off a hatch and letting one person die to save lots of people and feeling no regret about it. Wow. That was a lot of exposition, guys. But I liked it a lot. That kind of stuff I find very interesting. And I feel like it's kind of integral to the story. But if you are of the mindset that you do not want a whole episode of me just looking around and reading things, you just want me to get back to the puzzles and solving things, let me know down in the comments and it will be considered. So as always, thank you so much for watching. I'm really enjoying this. The puzzle aspects, I'm surprised, aren't more complicated. And again, it's not like we're super far in. They could get stupid complicated by the end. But there's a lot of thought-provoking dialogue and a lot of thought-provoking written material. Like I'm kind of having trouble finding things to say because my brain is moving faster than I can speak. So I'm sitting here processing all of this information and the impact it would have on society, human society as a whole. And why it would be really bad, but also really good. I mean, let's say hypothetically you get this, you can reproduce the telomeres, and you can destroy and reproduce the specific genetic telomeres that cause cancer, that cause ALS, that cause things like that. I mean, you could get rid of diseases. Or at least genetic diseases. I mean, you could still get viruses and things like that. And that sounds really good in theory. I don't see why that would be bad. But again, that's the kind of stuff that I can't process because I'm not as smart as these people. So as always, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.